What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Do-It-All. Fifth of our 5 videos of the day, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a very improved team on paper in the offseason. Now, some of their key additions include getting the veteran behind Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick, bringing in Deshaun Jackson, speedy burner threat, defensive tackle Chris Baker, who was with the Redskins as well, to be a run stuffer in the middle of that line, which next to Gerald McCoy, safety J.J. Wilcox, and kicker Nick Folk. Now, of those guys that's going to make the most impact is obviously going to be Deshaun Jackson. He's going to help spread the field for Mike Evans. He's going to get those big plays that he's known for, and he gets to do it with a young quarterback who has a super talented arm in Jameis Winston, who does need to cut down on his turnovers. Now, jumping into some of their losses, I don't know if you can really call some of these guys losses, but Vincent Jackson, who hasn't been himself since maybe his first year in Tampa. Mike Glennon, he's the starting quarterback for the Bears right now. So, but he was drafted I think a year or two before Jameis. So we'll see. Goster Chairless out of the offensive tackle. Jackie Smith, Akeem Spence, Daryl Smith, Alteron Verner, and Bradley McDougald. None of those guys are real big names or people that made a big difference to their team. So I don't see much of a drop off between those guys and who's possibly going to be replacing them. Now let's talk about their offense. Now, their offense is going to be super talented. Their biggest problem might be at the left side of their offensive line. Jameis Winston's blind side, which could be a problem, but he's made it work. As soon as he learns to calm down a little bit in the pocket and not force passes, I know it's hard not to force passes to somebody like Mike Evans. You have to feed your studs. And Mike Evans is a stud. He's one of the top 5 receivers in this league. Big athletic guy out of Texas A&M. And he's somebody. You gotta send the safety help over the top. Now, bringing in Deshaun Jackson makes it a lot harder to put that safety over the top now. Not over the top of Mike Evans, because now you gotta watch this big play threat. If he's gonna run deep, he's gonna run a post. You never know. Because Deshaun Jackson, when he catches the ball in open field, he's gone. Now, continuing on, they are going to be missing Doug Martin for the first 3 or 4 games. I believe he's suspended. He's okay. He's alright. He's a pretty good running back. He's not the best, but they'll survive. They have guys who last year ran the ball efficiently for them while he was out. I think they'll be okay. Now, in the draft, they got Jameis Winston, one of my favorite prospects out of this draft, and O.J. Howard, tight end out of Alabama. This guy's super athletic. He's going to be one of the top tight ends in the league. He should be. He'll be one of the top tight ends in the league in no time. He's super athletic. I don't know what else to say. He was one of my favorite prospects coming out. But yeah, to pair him with Jameis, that offense is going to be deadly for the next 5 to 10 years, honestly, if they all continue going upwards. Now, jumping to their defense isn't it's an average defense. They're going to be relying on Vernon Hargreaves, I'm not sure who they drafted, I believe, last year out of Florida. He's having a pretty solid preseason so far. I think he's ready to make that jump. Their defensive line is probably the best part of their defense. Bringing in Chris Baker is huge because you have a big body in the middle of the defense now who can eat up blockers. You have Gerald McCoy, one of the best 3-tech defensive tackles in the league. And on the ends, they have guys that can rotate and get out to the quarterback. Someone like Noah Spence last year, who they drafted. Somebody who I liked last year, Noah Spence. With 5.5 sacks last year, but he should make that improvement. 5.5 sacks as a rookie is pretty good, because as we know, most rookies don't contribute. Most rookie pass rushers don't contribute in year 1 or year 2, for that fact. It takes year 3 before they start learning more defensive moves, the swim move, pass rush, those type of things. Now, this defense on the defensive backfield is gonna have to improve. They do have Brent Grimes still, but he is 34. So we'll see if he can still continue playing at an elite level that he has been playing at. And their linebacking corps, led by Levante David and Quan Alexander, is super talented as well. 2 guys that are going to get you 120 tackles a year. But yeah, I mean, this team has the pieces. They need to keep improving, though. They need to keep drafting well. Spending second-round picks on kickers is not the way to do it. Obviously, they just cut that guy, and he caught on with the Bears. So, learning from that, you need to draft players, not kickers and punters. Okay? So, let's go ahead and talk about their schedule a little bit. Let's see what they can bring to Tampa this year for them. They haven't been a playoff team for a couple of years. At least since Winston's been there, they haven't made the playoffs. They have improved, though, each year. So let's go ahead and jump into their schedule here. They are playing the AFC East and the NFC North. And their 2 plays games are the Giants and the Cardinals. So, first 4 games of the season, they have a very, very favorable schedule here. At Miami, that's a W. Versus Chicago, that's a W. At Minnesota, that should be a W. Versus New York, that's a toss-up. It's in Tampa. It's in October, so it's still going to be kind of humid. It's not going to be kind of humid. It's going to be humid as fuck. It's Florida. That's a toss-up. I see those 2 teams evenly matched on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they both... maybe Giants will win that game because their defense is more talented. Versus New England, that's an L. At Arizona, Arizona's a much improved team from this year compared to last year. I'm going to give that one a toss-up. At Buffalo, that's a W. Versus Carolina, that's a W. At New Orleans, that's an L. Versus the Jets, that's a W. Bye week, week 11. It's a late bye week, but it kind of helps out that, especially if you have guys that are aching, they get that week off. Week 11, week 12, somewhere around there, and then the last 5 weeks of the season, you can play freely. At Atlanta, that's an L. At Green Bay, that's an L. Versus Detroit in Tampa, that's a W. Versus Atlanta, that's an L. Atlanta's a tough team. At Carolina, that's a toss-up game. Versus New Orleans, that's a W. I could see them going 10-6, straight up. Their floor is 8-8. Their ceiling is 10-6. Possible wild card. Tampa, you have a lot. You have a lot going for you right now. Don't fuck it up. You're gonna be you can be one of the top teams in the next 2 years. 1 year to 2 years, you can be one of the top 5 teams in the NFC. I could see that. That's going to do it here. Atlanta Falcons, y'all are up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm out.